Hey, what's up everybody? Ben here from blogwithben.com, and welcome to this step-by-step tutorial where we're going to explore how to use Unbounce's Smart Builder. This is an AI-powered landing page builder with data-backed recommendations that leverages artificial intelligence to help you build and design content a lot faster in a few simple steps. Just provide some information about your campaign, and the Smart Builder will suggest layouts designed to resonate with your audience. Complete a few prompts, and Smart Builder instantly generates on-brand copy for your page. This is a really amazing tool, and if you're someone like me who is pretty much a one-person marketing department, then the Smart Builder will save you a ton of time and money. And in this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the entire process of connecting the Smart Builder to a WordPress site, and then I'll show you how to create high-converting landing pages with Smart Builder's AI. Now, really quick before we get started, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. Here you'll find professional step-by-step video tutorials and product reviews aimed to help you become the best digital creator that you could be. And if you find this video helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Doing so helps me keep this channel going and growing, and it also allows you to stay up to date with all the digital marketing and WordPress tips and trends that are happening throughout the year. But as always, thank you so much for all your support. All right, with that being said, let's get started. So before we start building a landing page with the AI Smart Builder, I'd like to show you how to take advantage of Unbounce's 14-day free trial. Now, if you already have a paid subscription to Unbounce, feel free to skip ahead to the next section of the tutorial. But if you're brand new to Unbounce, you could test out their platform for 2 weeks and save some money if you decide to become a customer by using my affiliate link, blogwithben.com/Unbounce, which is located in the video description below. And as I mentioned, you'll receive a 14-day free trial to test everything out before you have to actually pay for your plan. And this is awesome because your free 14-day trial can be applied to any of the Unbounce plans, and it gives you full access to all of the plan features as well. There are no restrictions, and you won't be billed until after your 14-day free trial is complete. Plus, Unbounce will send you a reminder email near the end of your trial to verify whether or not you want to continue your plan, which is great because that means there won't be any surprises when you get your bill. In addition to your 14-day free trial, all Blog with Ben viewers receive 20% off their first 3 months when paying month to month, or 35% off their first year when purchasing a yearly plan. And if you want to test drive Unbounce for 2 weeks and take advantage of that referral discount, I would greatly appreciate it if you would use my affiliate link, which is located in the video description below. And to access that link within YouTube, if you click on where it says Show More below the video, that will open the video description where my affiliate link will be listed. It'll be the first one listed there, and clicking on that link will give you access to the 14-day free trial and referral discount, and will bring you to the page that we're looking at right now. Then to take a closer look at the plans offered, click the Start My 14-Day Free Trial button. And as you can see, Unbounce offers a wide range of plans which entail the Launch, Optimize, and Accelerate plan. Each plan is tailored to fit any need or budget, whether you're a one-person marketing team or a large agency or organization. Unbounce has a plan that can fit your needs. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do a deep dive on each plan. However, if you're interested, I have a more in-depth video review on Unbounce and all of its features that you could check out on the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. And I'll link to that video in the video description below as well. But if you need some more clarity on what each plan offers and how to get your account set up, then I highly recommend checking out that video review and tutorial. All right, with that being said, let's move on and create your landing page using the AI Smart Builder. Okay, so after you select your plan and set up your account, you'll have access to your Unbounce dashboard, which is what you're looking at right now. And as I mentioned a little earlier in the video, if you want a more in-depth tutorial on every feature of Unbounce and the dashboard, then I highly recommend my Unbounce review and tutorial. I should also point out that Unbounce has a pretty amazing resource center filled with a ton of help docs and tutorials. And I'll link to this page in the video description below as well, but you can also access the help center and community page by visiting either one of these links within the Get in Touch section of the footer on the Unbounce homepage. Okay, with that being said, let's create your landing page. So anytime you want to create a new landing page, within the Pages section of your dashboard, simply click the Create New button in the upper right corner of the screen. Next, you'll be given the option of which builder you'd like to use, the Classic or Smart Builder. The Classic Builder is Unbounce's original builder. It consists of drag and drop customization with a ton of control over the design and scripts being used. The Smart Builder, on the other hand, is still in beta, but it's Unbounce's cutting-edge landing page builder that's powered by AI. It's geared more toward the lean marketer that maybe doesn't have a designer on staff or is short on time. This new Smart Builder is an innovative way of working when it comes to building landing pages. And I cover both builders in my Unbounce video review and tutorial, so if you want to learn how the Classic Builder works, then I recommend checking that video out. But for this tutorial, we'll be using the new AI Smart Builder. So to get started, click the Start Building button under the Smart Builder section. Next, you'll be asked a few questions by the Design Assistant. This will craft page design recommendations based on details about your client and Unbounce account. So first, it'll ask what industry you're in. So within that drop-down, select the industry that best fits your niche. Below that is the purpose of the landing page, and they start you off with 4 options, but if you click the Show More link, you'll be presented with additional purposes to choose from. And for this particular example, the purpose of the landing page is to get someone to sign up for a free ebook. So I'm going to select ebook/guide for the purpose of this landing page. Then if you want to include a lead form, keep Yes selected, and then click the See Your Page button. And the AI gets to work and curates a recommended landing page template that performs well for the fitness and nutrition ebook/guide pages. Then towards the left are some design edits that you can make before you start adding content to the page. First is the Industry tab. And if you feel like this layout doesn't really work for you, you can always change industries and see if any of the other templates work better. So this landing page will be for a food blog ebook. So I'll go with the catering and restaurants industry instead. There we go. That feels much more on brand with a food related theme. Then below that is the page style guide. By default, it starts you with the suggested style, but you can always switch it to custom, which gives you more creative freedom in terms of the style of the layout. And rest assured, you can update the page typography like the fonts, the font family, text size, and so on. Also, the page sections and background colors are customizable as well, and we'll definitely address them in later steps while designing and editing this landing page. However, for this example, I'm sticking with the AI and we'll leave it as the suggested style. Now, one really cool feature of the suggested style guide is that it also comes with these additional pre-made style configurations you can browse and choose from. If you click the Show More link, you can preview the different styles to see if anything works best for you. And as we rifle through the different ones, you can see how it changes in the preview there to the right. Then once you've landed on a particular style, go ahead and click the Create Copy button. And Unbounce will then take you through their copy assistant. This is a built-in wordsmith that will generate high-converting copy for your entire landing page, catered to your audience, industry, and conversion goals. How awesome is that? Okay, to start, in the text box provided, simply type out a description of your company in 100 words or less. And again, for this example, I am acting as if this landing page is for a food blog ebook, so this is going to say Kale and Croutons is a food blog specializing in farm-to-table healthy recipes. Then below that, you'll see a little switch for the enhanced copy. And flipping this switch on lets you give more details about your brand and purpose, ultimately helping the copy assistant get even more specific with the copy that it suggests for your landing page. Now, I'm not going to make you sit through me filling all this out, but again, once it's all filled out and you've added the description and enhanced copy, go ahead and click the Generate Copy button and the copy assistant goes to work. And this may take a few seconds, so just sit tight while it does its thing. Then in a few more seconds, it'll give you a preview of that first option of copy. Again, don't worry about the font, color, and design. We can configure that in a few moments. Just focus on the copy and see if it's in line with your brand and, most importantly, your audience. Now, one really cool feature of the Copy Assistant is that you can generate up to 3 options of different copy. Simply click the Generate More Copy button, and the AI will generate additional options for you to choose from. Then you can cycle between the different options here, where Unbounce even has a ranking system. as well as a little insight as to what they think will work best with those green dashes. The options that are all green are the ones that, based on Unbounce's data, will convert the best. Either way, this copy assistant is a huge time saver if you're running into some writer's block or need some extra inspiration for your landing page copy. Okay, so I'm going to stick with option number 3. So once you've decided on which one will work best for you, click the Choose This Option button. And this will take you to the Smart Editor where you can begin editing your landing page. Now, before we dive in and start editing, let me give you a quick tour of the Smart Editor. For starters, you'll notice that the template is front and center, and all elements within the template are customizable. It's somewhat similar to the classic builder in that when you hover your mouse over each element, you can see the boundary lines appear, letting you know what is what, while also helping you along as you begin editing the content. Next, if we scroll up to the top of the Smart Editor, let's take a look at some of the controls and tools. Starting at the very top in the upper left corner, we have the Unbounce icon and page title. Clicking on that icon will take you back to the Unbounce dashboard. Then towards the right corner, you have the ability to give feedback to Unbounce about the Smart Builder. Now, as I'm filming this tutorial, it's March 2023, so the Smart Builder is still in beta. But I think it's great that Unbounce gives their customers the ability to provide feedback if they find a bug or if something's not working correctly. Then directly next to that is the ability to toggle the page preview or view the tablet or mobile versions of your page. You'll toggle the preview button to view how the live version of your landing page will appear when it's published. Then click the arrow button next to the desktop icon to toggle between the different versions of your landing page based on screen size, like desktop, tablet, and mobile versions. Then all the way towards the right are the Save and Publish buttons. These are pretty straightforward, but the Save button will be highlighted in blue if you have not saved the most recent changes to your landing page, so be sure to save your page often. You can also publish or republish your page directly in the Smart Builder by clicking the Publish button. Then moving back to the left side of the screen, you'll see the tools and components needed to design and customize your landing page. And I should point out that I initially created this tutorial in March of 2023, so that's why there are only 5 tabs here. But Unbounce has added an additional drag and drop feature to this toolbar that we'll cover a little later on, which adds a plus icon to the toolbar, giving you 6 tabs to choose from. This includes the following tabs from left to right. So, starting on the left, we have the brand new drag and drop feature. Then next to that, we have the content tree, then the style guide, page settings, conversions, and Unbounce apps. And we'll definitely be using these in just a bit, so you'll get a more in-depth look at what they can do in just a few moments. Okay, moving back to the right-hand side of the screen, we have the redo and undo buttons. The button on the left will undo the action, while the right button will redo the action. Then the question mark is the Unbounce support. You can chat with their friendly support team directly within the Smart Builder by clicking that question mark icon and following the prompts to start a live chat. And finally, we have the actual Smart Builder and landing page template. This is where you begin to edit the actual font, design, and overall layout of the landing page. It's quite similar to the classic builder, but it's built to speed up the process. So that's the Smart Builder in a nutshell. Hopefully you have a better idea of how things work, but let me walk you through the process of building with the Smart Builder to actually build and edit your landing page. Okay, so as I previously mentioned, every element on this page is customizable. And just like the classic builder, you can edit them in real time by clicking on each one. So for example, let's say I want to change this heading. Simply place your cursor on the text and you'll see the box appear with some additional editing toolbars. Then to change the text within the heading, just start typing or delete it altogether and create your new heading. Either way, you can change the text in real time right here within the editor. Then towards the bottom left of the heading, you'll see the typography edit toolbar. This will apply the typography edits to the section or element only, not the entire landing page. And clicking on the pencil icon will launch the design settings. This is where you can update the typography or styling for the specific section only. And since this text is hard to see against the dark background, I'll want to change it to a lighter color. So I'll use the text color tool. And there we go. The heading color in that particular element has been changed and is much easier to read. Then I'll do the same thing to the paragraph font below the heading, and the steps are the exact same. You'll select the element that you want to edit, and then open the design settings and change the color. Super easy. Then one thing I noticed is that some of the sentences of my generated copy didn't start with a capital letter, so let me edit that really quick. And I've submitted my feedback to Unbounce about this, but if you're using the beta version of the Smart Builder, it's something to keep an eye out for. But either way, it's always a best practice to review all of your copy to ensure proper grammar is used before you publish the page and make it live for the world to see. Then for the sake of time, I'm leaving the rest of the copy as is, but feel free to tweak it and make edits as you see fit when you're creating your landing page. Okay, next, I want to go over how to edit the lead form. Now, keep in mind that we haven't connected this form to an email marketing provider. We'll do that a little later on in the tutorial, but right now I want to quickly go over how to edit the form for your particular needs. And before we do, I want to point out that Unbounce has some great help documentation on how to edit the form that I'll link to in the video description below. They walk you through a bunch of scenarios that may come up, and I found this extremely helpful when I was editing my forms within the Smart Builder. So I highly recommend checking this out when you have some extra time. But for this tutorial, let me show you how to add and remove fields within this form. Okay, so by default, the form starts you out with two fields, one for a name and one for an email address, followed by a submit button. Then the idea here is that the information submitted to this form will be stored in Unbounce, but will also be stored in your email marketing provider where you can then send them on your email marketing journey. Again, I'll show you how to connect your email marketing provider to this form in a few moments, but first, let me show you how to add and remove form fields if needed. Okay, so in order to edit the form, it's just like the other pieces of content within the landing page. All you'll do is hover your mouse over it and click on it, and this will select the form and open the additional editing options, which you can see in the toolbar towards the bottom left corner. Then if you click on that three-dot icon, that will open up the form field options where you can add a field, add a hidden field, and toggle the conversion tracking, which is turned on, and I recommend keeping that on if you want to track conversions. But either way, for this tutorial, I want to add a new field. So let's go ahead and select Add a Field from this drop-down menu. And this opens up a new window where you can add and customize the form fields by updating the field name ID, type, label, and placeholder text, as well as hide the field's label or set the field as required. And let me give you a quick rundown of what each one of these settings does. So first we have the field name ID, and this is basically a unique ID of your field that you could set and is for tracking purposes. Best practice is to set different IDs for each one of your form fields, and some examples of form IDs are first name, phone_number, email, address, etc. Next to that is the field type, and this gives you the ability to select the form field style you'd like to add to your landing page, such as a drop-down menu, checkbox options, radio buttons, or text fields. Below that is the field label, and this is what appears above the field on the form. And some examples of form labels are first name, last name, email, phone number, etc. Then we have the hide label switch. It's pretty straightforward, but this gives you the ability to quickly hide or display form fields within a form. This is great for testing or quick changes on the fly. Next is the field placeholder text. This is the description of the information you'd like your visitors to input. An example of placeholder text could be your name here, or please enter a valid email address. Again, the placeholder text is what will display within the field. Then, depending on the type of form field that you're adding, you may have some additional option settings. By default, the field type selected is drop-down. So due to that, you'll have the ability to add various options for the users to select that will display on the form field drop-down. Then finally is the required field option. This is where you can make it so that the user is required to fill out the field before submitting their info. Okay, that's pretty much it for the quick tour, so let me show you how to add a new form field. So for this example, I'm going to add a field for the user's home address. So the first thing I'll do is set the field type. Again, by default, it's set to a drop-down, but you can change it here by clicking on this menu and then selecting single line text, which is pretty much what it sounds like, a single form field to input text. Next, you'll want to set the field name ID, label, and placeholder text. And since I'm collecting a physical address, I'll just title all three of these address. And then just a quick reminder, these two switches give you the ability to hide the field or make it required. And then once you're done creating and configuring the field, go ahead and click the Submit button. And just like that, you now have a new form field ready to capture valuable information. Then for the sake of this example, I'm going to remove this field permanently. So if you need to delete a field for good, simply click on it within the Smart Builder. And then from the toolbar, click that three-dot icon and select Delete. Then Unbounce will ask you if you're sure you want to completely remove it, and I do. So click the red Delete button, and the form field has been removed, and we're back to the two fields. Now remember, we still need to connect this form to an email marketing provider, but I thought it would be helpful to show you how to edit and configure the form within the Smart Builder. Okay, next let's cover the various controls and tools that we briefly went over during the overview of the Smart Builder. First, we have the newly added drag and drop feature, which is represented by this plus icon. And clicking on it will open their new drag and drop interface where you get this little GIF example of how it works. And the idea is pretty straightforward. You can now customize the layout of your landing page or create custom sections by dragging and dropping elements directly into the Smart Builder. You can add text, headlines, images, and button elements to any section on your landing page, all from this new feature. It truly is a game changer in terms of design and efficiency, and I'm so glad they added it to the Smart Builder. So let's take a quick look at how this works. Okay, so to add a new section, click the Add a Drag and Drop Section button, and this will bring you to the Layout selector. This is where you could choose your pre-designed section layout from the list available. And I should point out that you don't have to click this plus icon in the toolbar every time to access this particular feature. If we go back to the landing page builder really quick, you can hover your mouse over an existing section or near where you'd like to add your new section and simply click this plus icon that appears beneath the existing section. This will take you directly to the layout selector, and you can pick and choose the various sections to add to your landing page. Alright, so as you can see, you have a handful of really cool pre-designed section layouts to choose from. And when you have some extra time, I recommend exploring all the different types of sections offered. This new feature really gives you the ability to enhance your landing pages. And from this menu, whenever you click on one of the layouts, and for this example, I'll choose the testimonials, you'll see all the different variations of that particular section that you could use on your page. Again, this is not only easy to implement, but these sections give you the ability to drastically change the look and feel of your landing pages with a few clicks of the mouse. Plus, when you start testing different variations of your landing pages, you can easily add or remove sections with this new feature. It's super convenient and it saves you a ton of time. Okay, so once you find a section you like, click on it to select it, and that selection will appear in the Smart Builder. Now, since I used the plus icon in the toolbar, it added the new section to the very top of the page. But you can move this anywhere on the page by clicking on the section, and then this will open the section's editing toolbar. And then if you click this three-dot icon, that will open up even more editing options, one of them being to move the section up or down. And we want to move it down, so select Move Section Down from that menu. And then I'll do that one more time to move the section below the hero image and lead form, and there we go. Our new testimonial section has been added seamlessly to the landing page, and it looks really good. Normally you'd have to build this out piece by piece, but these new sections streamline the design process, and the outcome is really well done in my opinion. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to add content to this new section, but it's just like the rest of the builder. Hover your mouse over each block of content within the section, and you can edit it right here within the builder in real time. All right, moving on to the next feature, the content tree. This provides you with a hierarchy layout of all components and sections of your landing page, including the option to hide or display elements by clicking on the eyeball icon next to each element. This comes in handy when you're editing the mobile or desktop version of your landing page. And you'll see that as I click on these eyeball icons, this essentially hides the element that it's associated with and removes it from the landing page. Then simply click the eyeball icon again to re-add it. Pretty straightforward. But again, this can come in handy when you're making changes on the fly. Next is the style guide, and this lets you update your page design and branding globally, meaning it changes every single element instead of just one. For example, if I open the Headings tab, this will give me the ability to edit the style of every heading on the page all at once. So let's say that I change the font family of the headings. This means that anywhere that particular heading is used on the page going forward, it'll be changed to whatever I set it as in the style guide. Again, this can save you a ton of time if you know what style of font you want to use throughout your page instead of updating each heading one by one. You can quickly make a global edit in the style guide. And I realize that some of the spacing between the line height of the headings is kind of tight, but I'll show you how to edit that in just a few moments. Next, we have the page settings. And if you plan on sharing your landing page to different media platforms, or you're looking to improve your page's SEO rankings, you'll want to update your page metadata and settings. And updating your page's title, description, keywords, and social sharing image can help improve how Google indexes your page. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to be updating the page settings, but if you plan on having your landing page indexed, or if you will be sharing it on social, I highly recommend that you get in the habit of updating the page settings when creating your landing pages in the Smart Builder. Then another feature of the page settings is that you can edit the background and borders of the page. You can add an image to the background or even change the color altogether. Just another way to quickly make some drastic changes on the fly. And I'm actually going to undo these changes, so anytime you make a change, you can revert to the original state by clicking the undo button in the upper right corner of the toolbar. Next, we have the conversion settings, and this allows you to set which actions on your page you'd like to track as conversions, such as button clicks, link clicks, or form submissions. Right now, I only have a form element that would be able to facilitate a conversion, so by default, that's selected. But once you start adding additional clickable elements, such as links and buttons, you could set to track their conversions here. And finally, we have the Apps tab, and this allows you to access a variety of built-in tools directly within Unbounce. Here you can extend the functionality and value of landing pages by adding their favorite tools or features in just a few clicks with no coding required. Okay, so once you start making changes, it's always a good idea to preview those changes to ensure the layout is consistent across multiple devices and that the user experience is up to par. So if you look towards the right corner of the toolbar, you'll see the preview toggle switch. It's currently turned off, but if you flip that on, you'll be able to see a preview of the view you have selected. It's currently set to desktop, but I'll show you how to change that in a few moments. And the desktop version looks good so far. Then click that arrow button next to the desktop icon to toggle between the different versions of your landing page based on screen size. You can preview desktop, tablet, and the mobile versions. So here's the tablet preview. And then mobile. Again, I highly recommend getting in the habit of previewing your work across all devices to ensure a good user experience before you launch. For example, you're probably noticing that we have some spacing and padding issues with some of the headings and form fields. So it's a good thing I previewed this so that I'm able to fix it before finding these issues after the page is already live. These things may seem small, but they could have a negative effect on your conversions. So it's best to take care of them before launching your landing page. Okay, so let me turn the preview off and I'll stay in the mobile view. And the first thing I want to change is the padding around the form fields. Currently, they're spread full width across the entire screen, but I want to add a little space around them. So in order to do that, simply click on the form element within the editor like so. Then towards the bottom left corner of the element, you'll see an additional toolbar pop up, and clicking that first tab there will give you the ability to edit the section padding. And all you'll do is type the number of pixels that you want to add to that section padding. And I'll go with 40 on the right and left of the form. And look at that. Much better in my opinion. Then scrolling down to the headings, by default the line height is pretty tight. So to fix that, click on the heading element to open the editing options. And then click the pencil icon to open the design settings. Then from here, find the line height settings and change the pixels to whatever you think looks the best. So let's try 50, and then 40, and then I'm going to go with 45. There we go, I like that. Then I'll close this out and update the other headings so that they match. And as I'm doing this, I'm realizing that I could have just updated the line height setting in the toolbar at the top of the builder because that would have updated the line height globally. But again, I'm still learning too. Okay, so you'll want to make sure and update the desktop and tablet versions as well. So I'll do that really quick. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to update the desktop, but you'd obviously want to preview all of the views to make sure the padding and line height look good across all devices. And the steps are the exact same here. I would select the heading that I want to edit and then open the design settings and change the line height within those settings. And there we go. As we scroll down and check the other headings, spacing looks good within the template. But again, always get in the habit of previewing your changes so that you can see what it'll look like on a live environment. So we'll go ahead and preview this, and it looks much better. Again, I know it seems tedious, but it's always the best practice to preview your changes before you launch. Okay, next let me show you how to update the images. So just like everything else on the page, you'll select that specific element to edit it, then click the pencil icon. And for this particular section, you can change the background image. Just click that little upload icon. And I've actually already uploaded an image, but you can browse Unsplash or just upload your own. And just like that, we have a different vibe to the page. Now, let me preview this really quick to see what it looks like. And the white font is kind of hard to read, so let's go back to the editor. You could try different colors of font to see if that makes it better. And for the paragraph and heading, I'll just click on those elements and open the design settings and use that color picker tool to change it to a black color instead of white. It's still kind of hard to read, but you get the idea. In this case, I'd probably use a different image or add an overlay to it in Photoshop, but you can always undo your changes and revert back to the original state. Then the last thing I'm going to cover in terms of designing the page are adding links to the buttons. By default, they don't link to anything, but you can change that by clicking on the button you want to edit. And from here, click the link icon to open the link settings. And then you have the option of linking to a web address, phone number, email, or section of the page. And for this example, I'm actually linking to a section of the page, which will be my lead form. That way, whenever someone clicks on the button, it'll take them to that lead form. So let me do that really quick for all the buttons. Then if we preview the page and scroll down and click on the button, it will automatically scroll the user to the top of the page and direct them to the form. Again, this is just an example of what you could do with the buttons, but pretty cool feature nevertheless. Okay, so that's going to do it for the design portion of the Smart Builder tutorial. You'd obviously want to update the additional images, logo, and footer, but hopefully this gave you a good start on how to use the Smart Builder to create and design your landing pages with the help of AI. All right, so we still need to update the URL and add the email marketing integration before we publish this page. So don't forget to save your changes. And then let's head back to the dashboard by clicking the Unbounce icon in the upper left corner of the screen. Now I should point out that this is my personal Unbounce account that I've already set up and connected my WordPress site and domain to. So that's why it's displaying my primary domain here. However, if this is your first time creating a landing page with Unbounce, they'll start you off with a placeholder temporary domain that will look something like this. So with that being said, let's move on and change this placeholder domain so that you could use your own custom domain for this landing page. In this portion of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to update your landing page domain so that you could use a much more professional and user-friendly top-level domain. As you can see by default, Unbounce starts you out with this placeholder domain, but I assume you don't want to use this as it can be bad for branding and could hurt conversions. So let's change this domain. All right, so when it comes to your landing page's domain, you have a couple options as to how to change it. For example, I'm going to be using a WordPress domain that is already in use on a live website. However, as I mentioned earlier, there are multiple ways to connect your domain to Unbounce, and your situation may be different than mine in that maybe you aren't using WordPress or you haven't even purchased your domain yet. If that's the case, I highly recommend checking out Unbounce's help docs on connecting a domain. They outline almost every possibility and have a ton of help documentation that walks you through various scenarios to connect a domain to your landing page. And I'll put a link to these help docs in the show notes below the video, but if you aren't using WordPress, I would take a look at these resources to help you along. And don't forget that if you get stuck, you could always reach out to Unbounce's technical support team as well. They'd be more than happy to help you out with your domain. Okay, so for this example, as I mentioned earlier, I'm using a domain that is already live on one of my WordPress sites. And all this means is that my landing page will use the primary domain for that site, and then I can edit the permalink to make it whatever I want it to be. So first things first, in order to update the domain being used in Unbounce, head to the domain section by clicking on the domain tab. And then just a heads up, you can also access the help docs here by visiting these links. However, I'm connecting via WordPress and the Unbounce plugin. So in this example, click the Connect a WordPress Domain button. And next, you'll be asked to enter the WordPress domain that you'd like to publish to. So within the field provided, enter the domain and then click the Create a WordPress Domain button. And then the domain has been successfully added. Next, you'll need to install Unbounce's plugin. So click the Install Unbounce's WordPress plugin button. And I'm already logged into WordPress, so it conveniently takes me to my WordPress dashboard where it even has automatically searched for and it displays the Unbounce landing page plugin. How cool is that? And all I have to do from here is install and activate it. So let me do that really quick. Then I'm using WP Engine as my web host, so that's why I get these pop-ups after I install and activate it. You probably won't see this if you're using a different web host, just a heads up. And then let me actually activate the plugin. And again, I get that WP Engine pop-up, and once I close that out, it'll be listed as one of my active plugins on my site. Next, we want to authorize the plugin so that it can connect to Unbounce. So within the left-hand side of your WordPress dashboard, click on where it says Unbounce Pages. And from here, simply click the Authorize with Unbounce button. And this will allow you to connect your domain and essentially publish your landing pages to WordPress through Unbounce. And the plugin has been authorized and the WordPress domain has been successfully added. Now, I haven't published any pages yet, so nothing will be listed here, but as you publish pages on Unbounce using this domain, they'll be listed here within WordPress, and it just offers another way for you to manage your landing pages. Okay, let's head back to Unbounce, and then you'll need to go through 2 more steps, so click the Next button. And here you'll be reminded that you'll need to actually change the domain in Unbounce from the placeholder domain to the WordPress domain, and we'll do that in just a few moments. So go ahead and click the Next button again. Then finally, you're being told that you'll now see the WordPress icon next to your WordPress domains in Unbounce, as well as any page that's being published to WordPress. All right, with that being said, let's update the landing page domain within Unbounce. So go ahead and click the Close button. And then you should see the newly added domain listed here with the green check mark notifying you that it's working with WordPress. Then to update the URL, let's head to the Pages section again. And it looks like the primary domain has been updated. It's no longer using the Unbounce placeholder domain, but it's now using my WordPress domain. Then we can configure this domain even more by editing the entire permalink. So if you want to do that, go ahead and select the page from the list of pages here in the dashboard by clicking on it. And this will take you to your Pages overview. This is like home base for the back end of your landing page. And once you've published your page, this is where you can access stats, analytics, reporting, add integrations, create variants, and more. And we'll definitely be doing that in a bit, but for now, let's update the domain's URL. So go ahead and click the Change URL button. And you'll get a pop-up where you'll see a preview of the URL, but below that is where you could set the domain being used, as well as the page path, commonly referred to as the subdirectory, or what I was calling the permalink. And it's pretty straightforward. Just type what you want your new subdirectory to be in that field, and remember to use lowercase letters and put dashes in between the words instead of a space. And as you update the page path, your URL will be updated in real time. Pretty cool. Okay, once you've settled on your new domain and URL, click the Save URL button, and your new URL will now be in use. Now, I actually didn't save the URL, so mine didn't update, but if you click the Save URL button, the new URL will display here within your Pages section. And you may notice that it's using the HTTP prefix before the URL. However, because we connected this to WordPress, it'll redirect to an HTTPS prefix. Just a heads up on that. I also want to point out that if you didn't use a WordPress domain for your landing page, you still have the ability to force an HTTPS redirect for all non-WordPress domains. Simply visit your Domains tab in your Unbounce dashboard and then flip that switch towards the top of the screen. That will redirect all domains using HTTP and will ensure that your landing pages are SSL protected. All right, moving on. Next, let's connect an email marketing funnel and add an integration to this landing page. In this portion of the tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the process of connecting an email marketing provider to the landing page through Unbounce's integration. This will allow you to collect leads submitted through your lead form and store them in your email marketing provider, which for this example will be Aweber. Now I should point out that this tutorial won't walk you through the process of setting up your email marketing provider and the actual email journey, but if you're using Aweber, I have a tutorial that shows you how to set everything up on the email marketing side of things that you can access in the show notes below the video. Just visit the link titled Aweber tutorial and that'll get you started with their email marketing software. Either way, the idea here is that once you've connected Aweber to Unbounce, the leads collected through this landing page will be sent to Aweber and then will go through the email journey that's built out in Aweber. Another thing I want to point out is that if you aren't using Aweber, that's not a problem. Unbounce facilitates the connection of hundreds of third-party apps natively and with the help of webhooks and Zapier. So if you're not using Aweber as your email marketing provider, chances are you could still connect to Unbounce. And once again, I want to direct you to Unbounce's help documentation if you aren't using Aweber. They literally cover every third-party integration and have detailed step-by-step articles and videos that walk you through the process. So I'll link to this page in the video description below, but definitely check it out if you aren't using Aweber or if you just want to see what other integrations are possible. All right, with that being said, let's add an integration and connect the Aweber email marketing provider to this landing page. So within your Unbounce dashboard, click the Integrations tab. And this will take you to the integrations page that lists the various third-party apps that you can connect. Now, we briefly covered the differences between these integrations, but for this example, I'm using Aweber, which is a native integration, meaning it's an in-app integration built right into Unbounce for the quickest and easiest way to connect. However, if your app isn't listed here, then chances are it falls under the Zapier integrations. And they list a few of them here, but if you click the Show More link, it opens the rest of the catalog of apps and displays all the integrations that can be facilitated through Zapier. And I'll link to Zapier in the video description below, but in order to connect any of these apps to your landing page, you'll need to sign up for a free Zapier account, and then like I said, you can begin connecting these apps to your landing pages. Okay, hopefully you have a better understanding of how these integrations work, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm using Aweber as my email marketing provider, so I'm going to select Aweber from the native integrations. Then a pop-up will appear asking me to select my page to connect to. I only have one, so I'll select my food blog ebook landing page and click the Select and Continue button. Next, you'll see another pop-up, and to begin the connection process, simply click the Connect with Aweber button. Then next you'll be prompted to log into Aweber with your Aweber login credentials. This will allow Unbounce to access your Aweber account. Then prove you're not a robot by checking that box and click the Allow Access button. And then in a few short moments, you should be redirected back to Unbounce. If you aren't for any reason, or if you get a connection failure message, or if it just keeps loading, just go back to the Integrations tab and follow these steps again. The connection should go through and you'll see this next pop up. All right, from here is where you'll select the list you want the leads to go to. Again, I set this all up on the Aweber side of things prior to this video, so if you still need to create your list, you'll have to do that first and then add the integration. Either way, I'm going to select my food blog ebook list and then click the Complete button. And in a few seconds, you should get a notification letting you know that the page has been successfully integrated with Aweber, and now any leads captured on this page will be sent to my food blog ebook list. Awesome. Okay, the connection is complete, so let's close this out and test the lead flow. Now, really quick, all of the active integrations will be listed here and marked with this green check mark moving forward. And also, your email provider may send you an email alerting you that the connection was made. Aweber did, and it looked like this, so just a heads up on that as well. Okay, back at Unbounce, let's head back to the overview section really quick. And once leads start flowing in, this is where they'll be stored within Unbounce and is where you can begin tracking conversions. So with that being said, let's test our landing page and lead form. Additionally, now that we've set up the domain and email integration, we'll also need to publish the page. So within the upper right corner of the dashboard, to officially launch your landing page and make it live online, click the Publish button. Then Unbounce gives you a quick review to ensure that all the page info is correct, so carefully look that over, and if everything looks good, click the Publish button again. And just like that, in a few seconds, your page will be live. And there you go, congratulations. You have officially launched your landing page and it is now ready to capture leads. Now, one really cool feature of the overview section, which is what you're looking at right now, is that once your landing page has been published, it displays your page stats, giving you real-time conversion data. So as people sign up and convert, they'll be tracked here. I should also point out that it's always a best practice to test your lead forms to ensure the lead flow is behaving properly and that your leads are making it to your email list. So to get to the front end of your site, simply click the domain here within your dashboard, and that will take you to the front end and you can interact with your landing page and lead forms as if you're a visitor and test the lead flow to ensure leads are being captured. Alright, so that's pretty much going to do it for this tutorial. However, there are some additional AI features like Unbounce's Smart Traffic that I recommend checking out whenever you have some extra time. This allows you to create different variations of your landing pages, and then AI sends web traffic to the page that's most likely to convert. It really is an amazing feature, and I cover it in greater detail, as well as the AI Smart Copy feature in my full Unbounce review and tutorial that you can watch on the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. And I'll link to that video in the video description below as well if you want to check it out. Okay, so that's pretty much going to do it. If we head back to the Pages section, you'll see that as you start building landing pages, they'll be neatly listed here, giving you some quick stats and an easy way to monitor and access your pages within your Unbounce dashboard. All right, so that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching and for using my tutorial. I hope you found it helpful with understanding the benefits of Unbounce and all they have to offer. And if you have any questions about using Unbounce, be sure to visit their help documentation for additional assistance. I've linked to it within the video description below, but their support docs are extremely helpful when you're starting out with Unbounce. Again, thanks for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in using Unbounce to create beautiful and high converting landing pages to boost your online marketing efforts. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Also, now that you've started your blog, check out these two videos on email marketing and blog monetization. They'll help you grow your audience and earn a passive income with your blog. And as always, your support means a great deal to me and my family, and for that, I thank you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.